If
They're
that's too
hearing
loud,
us now.
just
All
turn
right,
your own
so
volume down.
man, hey, welcome to the Sakred Gaming Podcast, episode 16. And I am excited to be with my good friends Ocho, Taboo, Collapse. Today's show's topics are going to be talking about, we're going to be talking about Ubisoft and Titanfall 2. I can't wait to delve into that. Also, some things about E3. So if you have something about E3 that you want to talk about, make sure you put that in the chat. Ocho's going to be talking about Fallout New Vegas. Then we're going to be talking about leadership in Christianity and the shooting that just happened. So some serious topics there. But let's start out. Ocho, you want to introduce yourself for a second time and tell us what games you're playing?
Oh, well, actually, I just thought of some other things, but I'm Ocho. So I think I streamed on Twitch a little bit, like really late at night, a couple of times, but been playing a few different games. Actually played some Ghosts and Fallout 4, Mirror's Edge Catalyst, that came out a couple weeks ago. I think I played a bunch of weird stuff, like I hadn't played in a while. I even played like one game of Titanfall.
You played Titanfall?
I played Titanfall.
How are the connections on that thing?
It was okay
Yeah.
for one game, and then I was like, I'm done.
All right.
And then played some of not remastered, but the backwards compatible Black Ops. Played a little of that.
Okay.
I don't think I didn't max prestige in that one, so I was still kind of low ranked. But
Got some work to do.
yeah, what else did I play? I think some Watch Dogs.
Watch Dogs.
I was like looking at stuff that on my Xbox I hadn't played in a while. I was like, let me just try this, see if it still works. And Watch Dogs. I think Rocket League. Mostly Overwatch though. I've been playing a lot of Overwatch.
You just like played as many games in 1 week as I've played. You played more than I've played in a year. That's just not right. I tell you what, my daughter came up to me today after church and she's like, "Can I play Call of Duty?" And I'm like, "What do you want to play?" And she goes, "Black Ops 1." And she was playing Black Ops 1. I was like,
Nice.
"What? Why do you want to play Black Ops?" Then she played like one game and then went to Minecraft. So
Smart girl.
yeah. All right. Collapse, what about you? Introduce yourself. Tell
Hey,
us.
what's going on? I'm Collapse.
Hey, I bet you got an Xbox.
I do now. Yes,
All right.
I'm back on an Xbox. Traded my PlayStation 4 for an Xbox again, so I'm back over there. Still believe the PlayStation 4 is a better console, but all my friends are still on Xbox, so I'll take that trade-off. I've been playing Destiny again. I really got back into Destiny, going back over. So been having a lot of fun with that. A little bit of Overwatch, a little bit of Black Ops 1 since it's backwards compatible. That's been nice. A little bit of Black Ops 3, a few competitive games here or there, but mostly Destiny. That's what I've been spending my time on.
Cool.
Trying to get back up there.
Game up with you, man. Meet up with you guys. Ever see you?
I got a grasp of Malik.
Ooh, cool. I still haven't got one of those.
That was nice.
Yeah, you stay.
Yeah. So it's been decent to me so far coming back.
Cool.
It
Good.
sounded
Good
like
pull on that.
we almost got a Vault of Glass raid put together for Friday night. Somebody in chat suggested it, and I thought it was going to get a little momentum, but didn't work out. But
I would've played.
want to do that. Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be great.
I
I'd love to
don't know,
go.
Collapse, are you high enough level yet to do Vault of Glass?
Yeah. But when I came back to my characters, I was at say across the board 170 on all three characters. I've got my Warlock up to like 312. I think is the highest I can go right now.
Oh,
That ain't bad.
that's all you.
So the other ones are still down
Orcs.
there. I've still got my what was the hand cannon from Vault of Glass? Fatebringer. Still got that.
Oh, heck yeah.
I
My
was
son's
finished-
got an Imago loot. That's pretty close to the Fatebringer.
Yeah, I got one of those, but it had I've gotten two of them, and they've both had horrible perk sets.
Sounds about
That's
right.
key, man. Man, Scoot, you gonna play with us, Vault of Glass? If we end up running that, let us know. But who was in the chat? I just read something. Cam was asking if Overwatch is good.
Yeah, I really like Overwatch. They had a it was playtest revision or something. It's a PTR the initials, but they had a competitive mode, so kind of like League Play from Black Ops 2. So you actually play with people and you get ranked, and you play with people that are around your rank. And so like I'm like a rank, I think 32 or something, but there's other people that are like 99. So, but then the rankings, like you play 10 competitive mode games to get your placement. So like in Black Ops, you had like 5. But once you get those 10 games in, then it ranks you according to. They had this whole article on how they actually rank your skill and the skill-based matchmaking that's in that. But overall, I think it's a really good game. It's you have 21 characters to choose from, and it's pretty. I think I found myself only choosing like maybe 5 or 6 of the characters to play with, but yeah, it's really fun. Especially if you have a team that's put together well and they actually all go for the objective, then it's really fun game.
Yeah, I imagine it looks like a good team-based game that you really have to understand the different things and work well in conjunction with each other.
I'm curious does it feel like a $60 game after you've had it for a couple of weeks?
On PC, I think it was like 30 or 40.
Oh, really?
$40 on PC.
Okay.
Yeah. They had like a $60 version that had like all these other skins that come with it. But it doesn't really feel like a $60 game because like with Call of Duty, you get a campaign and the multiplayer and zombies. So with Overwatch, it's just the multiplayer. They may be adding new maps for free and different characters. I think they're supposed to be bringing in or heroes, or what they're called. But I think it might eventually. Since I already have it on PC, I probably won't get it on Xbox. But I mean, it's $60 on Xbox and like 40 on PC. So it's I don't know if it's worth it for both, but I think and also it's probably better on PC. So I think there's been some updates on PC that haven't gone on the Xbox, which is kind of the opposite of what Call of Duty usually happens. It's like you get the updates on the console and then they come to the PC later or something. But it's definitely a fun game.
Yeah. Definitely worth
Cool.
30. Definitely worth 40.
Yeah.
Maybe not 60.
Yeah,
But
100%.
Maybe.
That's what I would say.
Get it from eBay.
Okay.
Buy it used if you can.
Yeah.
Honestly, if you want it for console, buy it used because them charging $60 for console and then you can download it on PC for $40. I think that's a huge rip for people on console only.
Yeah, seems like you have a lot of access to games on PC cheaper. I don't know. I just bought one.
Well, then you get like the Steam sale, the
yeah.
summer Steam sale. You can get stuff a lot cheaper there.
And I can't believe, man, if you try to buy something over Xbox Live or something like that, and I don't know if PlayStation's the same way, but it's like there's no sale for digital games or anything like that. Even after a while they've been out, you're still going to play some big money.
But if you want to go back and play buy Ghost on PS4, I was looking at it. It was still $60.
Wow. Dang. Wow. Well, it was super good, right, Claps?
I mean, it was a good game for me, yes.
Yeah. All right, Taboo, tell us about yourself and
yeah. My name's
if you're playing anything.
Taboo Lexicon. Yeah, I've played more Minecraft in the last 2 weeks than I've played. Well, I was gonna say Black Ops, but that's probably not quite true yet. But I put some hours in, man. I've been Scoot and I. We built this. This is so dorky. I don't know. Not to offend anybody who's really into Minecraft, because I'm in that category as well right now. But we built this spawner where these Endermen just drop from it, and they lose all their health to where they're like one shot, and then we just whack them with a sword, and it's like an XP farm. So
Jeez.
we're proud of that. Put some hours in on that, but Minecraft, that's all I've been playing lately. It's all I've been wanting to play. I mean, that's not true. I'd like to play Destiny, but there's just nothing new for me. So when September gets here, I'll be all over it.
Yeah, for a week.
Yeah.
Taboo, are you playing the Minecraft battles? Have you seen that?
No.
My daughter was playing it. I didn't know anything about it. She's playing Minecraft, and she's playing like a Hunger Games type thing.
Oh, yeah, I've seen that before, but no, I haven't played it.
Oh, you're on PC.
Yeah.
That's right. You're playing on PC. Yeah, so I'm excited to check that out. That could be really cool. But, all right. Well, hey, I'm JA representing 3dayrespawn.com. It's good friends of mine. If you want to check them out, actually go to Facebook, though, and look for 3-Day Respawn. They're a pretty good group, though, and I've been a member with them for a long time. But I've been playing Black Ops 3 and Destiny, and I bought Warhammer Total War. I think that's the name of it, but I've only managed to play it for like one game. I just sat down once or twice and played it, and I'm having trouble getting used to the keyboard. I mean, I just stink. I think I'm too old. If you're 40 years old, I think you're going to have trouble readjusting to the keyboard and everything like that. So that's where I'm at right now. But I tell you what, I got that for 30-something, and it was $60. But I will say this. I don't know if I want to be careful here, because I bought it on eBay, and all of a sudden I'm contacting somebody in Russia. So I'm like, okay, what the heck is going on? Like, and I don't know. So I hope I didn't do anything illegal. Probably get banned here pretty soon. But everything looked legit. I paid for it, and then all of a sudden I get this message, and I'm thinking it's from Russia. So I don't know. Could be something really weird.
Got a torrented game.
Yeah. I hope not.
Like Boris and Natasha stealing codes.
Yeah, I got a code to download in Steam, so I'm hoping that's okay. I don't know. We'll
That's
see.
kind of like Lone Ranger was saying with G2A.com. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
It's still
yeah.
you can find a lot cheaper games there.
Yeah, that's where I went first, and then I checked it out on eBay.
That
and
wasn't
found it
cheap
a little
enough, so you went to the Russian.
Yeah.
The Russian.
Yeah, it was like $40 on it, or 45 or 48 on that site, and then under 40 on eBay. So I was like, hey, let's try it. So, all right, let's get into the gaming topics, man. Claps, you want to talk about Ubisoft?
Sure. So I know with I've been really looking forward to Ghost Recon Wildlands coming out, but with all of that, they show us all this cool gameplay, and I was watching a video the other day, and they were talking about how not to get too excited ahead of yourselves, because Ubisoft tends to show sort of like a movie style trailer, whereas not reflecting the actual gameplay. So the quality of your graphics is going to be less. The quality of the gameplay is going to be less. And the examples that he had was Watch Dogs. They showed us the trailer where you could just walk up and auto hack somebody, and it was kind of cool. The graphics in the Division, where everybody was expecting these awesome graphics out of the Division, and it didn't play out like that when it actually released. So they were saying not to get too excited about it. And I kind of want to talk about that if you guys think it's actually going to happen, because after watching the gameplay out of E3, I really felt like Wildlands actually looked pretty similar to what they were showing.
Man,
So
I'll tell you, I saw all the Division controversy, and they would throw up screenshots of the before, like the E3 footage and the actual release, like the PC release, and I was like, I guess you gotta have an eye for it, because I thought they looked a little different, but I didn't think it was like a dramatic quality difference. I just thought it was like a style difference almost,
Yeah.
So I didn't see the difference as much, and I wasn't like zooming in to count pixels or anything. I was just looking at side by side shots, and I'm like, I don't know, man. These they didn't look identical, but they didn't look like a big quality difference at all, like resolution wise. So.
Well, like to me, it's kind of like the same argument if you go between like somebody's like, well, you only upload in 720p, you're not uploading in 1080.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, like when you do that, like I really can't tell a difference, me personally.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
So
I can't.
when it comes down to all of that, like, yeah, it seems like it's all the same. Like it's all good and well for me, from my perspective. But they're saying just because the developer that's pushing it out the door, Ubisoft, that it's going to be damaged goods. I think another one was Rainbow Six Siege. Like how it's supposed to be not necessarily the graphics, but it was supposed to be that slow tactical style shooter where you're supposed to work together in a team, and now you got people kind of rushing in there.
Mm-hmm.
But that's kind of identified by the individual perks of each player, like how you decide you're going to play the game. But they're trying to pin it on one developer. I don't think that's necessarily the case, I guess.
Yeah, because that's a publisher thing, not a like. They're saying because it's a Ubisoft published game that it's going to be a problem when it's a different studio creating the game. So I don't, what does Ubisoft care if the resolution's the same or not? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So well,
it's just like they're trying to attach it to one single thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It might be just a reason to write
like
a story.
We can have problems with Activision because they publish Call of Duty, but Activision can go publish something different, and it's fine.
Yeah. Exactly.
It's all. Because all they're doing, they're just attaching a name to it, so there's a studio that puts it out. They're just putting out some money.
Yeah. I guess maybe once it drops, we'll have to have you back on and see what you think.
Yeah. I don't see any problem with it so far. I really
Are you
don't.
going to get it?
Studio. I want to, yeah.
I want to too, so I'll play with you if you do.
I've always been a Tom Clancy fan. First game I ever owned was Ghost Recon 2.
Ghost Recon 2?
Xbox. Yeah.
It's the first game I played online, but I was at my dad's house playing it.
Yeah. It was pretty bland online back then.
Yep, I played that one online.
Yeah.
Quiet.
Is that the
when
game
I
where you
remember-
get like pink bunny suits? They had a promotion or something like that. I don't know.
I don't know.
Like DLC, or like they mail you a pink bunny suit?
I don't know. I was thinking like in game, Ocho.
Okay.
Jeez.
So, my parents bought me the Xbox for Christmas, right? And I'm
Yeah.
sitting down, and it came with a double-sided DVD. So on one side it had tennis, topspin tennis, and on the other side it was NCAA football. And she was like, "Are you playing that Ghost Recon game I got you?" Like, you didn't get me any game. She spent another 20 minutes digging through the house to find it. She had hid it from herself.
Yeah.
While she gave it to me, she's
no.
like, "Hey, this was supposed to be for Christmas."
No way.
Yeah.
Wow. Dang. Huh. Cool. Cool. Any of you guys all right, so did you see in the chat, all right, Mike Vasquez said that he agreed with me that the Division did not live up to all its hype. So I'm curious what the rest of the chat feels like. Only comment if you played it, because Taboo and myself had a wager going on that I thought the Division was going to fade out fast and not be that good, and Taboo said that I was wrong, and I think we had some kind of wager where the other person has to do a video. So I would love to hear what you guys think.
Yeah, and let me just say real quick before JA rewrites history completely.
Oh, no.
The wager was whether or not the Division would be a good game, not whether it would fade fast.
Oh, okay, all right.
Overhyped,
You're
whatever.
totally right. You're totally right. Yes.
That's a good game. Okay, so are we going to quantify it in any way, or are we just going to say whether a good game now or not?
No, it's completely subjective and up to me to decide. Yeah, it was a good game. It just wasn't a good game for me.
All right. Oh man, look at these comments.
It was good at first, and then they ruined it with their updates.
Oh,
That's
like
what I
when
heard.
Larson said it got
Yeah.
stale.
They got
Very
Didn't live
stale.
up to the hype.
Mhm.
Too hyped. I'm thinking people are agreeing with me there.
I know it'd be better if you had played it though.
Huh. Great news. Waco, if you're trying to send me a message, I don't know if you can't. Just make sure you're spelling my name right. It's JUDGMENT space and then awaits. Don't add two E's in judgment. So that's the American version of judgment. The English version over in Europe has two E's, just so you guys know.
Does it really?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, I'm serious, man.
So it's actually a correct spelling if you put the E.
Yeah. And actually both are acceptable in the US, but preferred is just one E.
Man, I
But
was going to tweet about Trump because he keeps tweeting the word judgment with an E in it in the middle of it. And I was going to say I've never been never Trump, but if he doesn't learn how to spell judgment, I'm voting for Hillary in November.
I'm glad you didn't put that out there. All right. I want to talk about Titanfall 2. I know somebody in the chat said that they didn't like Titanfall. And I tell you what, I can understand that because that game faded fast. But Titanfall 2 looks like the game that Titanfall was supposed to be. Like it looked like, and I really think Titanfall was rushed hard. I think it was rushed hard to try and compete with Sony and get Xbox sales up and everything like that, and they pushed it hard. Could be totally wrong. That's just me speaking out of my back end, but I think that they didn't have time to really finish this game and everything like that. So, but what I'm seeing for Titanfall 2 looks great. We've got 6 mechs to choose from. They look very different, the ones that I've seen, than the kind of stale ones that we saw in the past. Those were pretty similar, but they showed off the Ronin one, which I love the name Ronin. Man, that's a great movie if you ever watched it.
It's my middle name.
Are you serious?
Yeah, Taboo Ronin Lexicon.
Masterless Samurai. And I'm talking about the movie that with Robert De Niro in it, not the one with Keanu Reeves. But back to what I was saying, man, that Titan looks awesome. Did you guys see that gameplay of it, or how they showed it off with the shotgun and the dash and everything?
I didn't see the specific ones.
No,
I just saw the generalized E3 gameplay that came out of the EA Play event.
Gotcha.
So,
Gotcha.
I mean, I just kind of saw like a mixture. If they've got specific ones, I definitely need to see that.
I think they just showed off the Ronin, and I kind of found an article talking about some of the other ones. Well, I guess you saw this one bigger one too, and in the gameplay you saw like maybe a total of 3 different styled ones, and they look like, they've got the melee with the sword plus this kind of arc wave thing that it can do. It can block with the sword. It looked like it was blocking bullets back at things, and then it's got a shotgun, and it can
see the fire.
Dash. Yeah,
the fire, the flame wall.
Yeah. So I think it looks pretty cool. And I tell you what, I'm very confident that they're going to listen to what people said in the first one about the lack of customization and everything like that, and do a much better job with this one with different weapons. We're already seeing it with different abilities with the pilots and the different abilities with the Titans and everything like that. But I think it looks pretty sweet.
Did you hear the opinions people had, like the thrust jumping movement? Like it felt slower than Titanfall 1.
Oh, really? No.
Original.
All of the movement, they said, I think.
Yeah, they said a little, almost like the person felt more weighted as they were moving around, which I don't know. It kind of throw a few people off, because if you think like Titanfall had that movement, and then you went to Advanced Warfare was way out there, so you're really fast. And then Black Ops 3 kind of toned it down a little bit. But if you feel more weighted than Black Ops 3, and a lot of your player base is going to come from that style of game, then it might kind of throw them off a little bit. They might feel like the movement is not fast enough.
Yeah, because I know it's rough going back to a slower moving game, like in COD when you're used to something and you go back to one of the, like Modern Warfare 3 felt like you were kind of moving through quicksand or something like that. So that's interesting. No, I didn't hear that.
Drybones is saying he's hearing mixed reviews about the movement. Some say faster, some say slower. I wonder if it's like people are playing Black Ops 3 and then they go to E3 and play Titanfall and they're like, it's slower than Black Ops 3, but maybe the same as Titanfall 1.
That's a good point. Okay. Yeah.
I'd be curious to know.
Well, either way, we're going to get a beta. So, Taboo, I know you're going to be all over that, right?
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. You're all about the beta, man.
Yeah. That's how I decide if I'm going to buy a game now.
Yeah. I hate, though, that it's coming out October 28th. I hate that it's calling out near a Call of Duty and Battlefield. I wish they would space these games out a little bit so I could play them all. But I just don't have the time. But free DLC, free game modes, and updates. I'm sure they're going to have microtransactions in there. But if they do it just cosmetics, I'm cool with that.
It's going to be the cards, though, right?
The burn cards?
I'm wondering. That would be a little unfair, I think, because some of those cards can really help you out. What do you guys think?
Yeah, where you can like drop in a Titan at the beginning of the match.
Yeah,
automatic Titan.
Oh man, Taboo, you just kind of ruined it for me.
Like supply drop Titans.
Yeah. Wow. That could be not good.
It just no purchase now.
Surely they won't do that. That'd just be crazy. Like I'm picturing like random packs, like you buy a pack of cards or whatever.
Yeah.
And they're random, and maybe.
Well, this is going to be like, since this is going to be an EA game, and you look at the sports games they have, Madden, FIFA, they got the packs, the card packs. That's a good point.
Crap.
But look, those are actually game-changing things, though. Even like the small ones where you could like disguise yourself as like a Spectre or whatever the AI robot things were. Like that's even kind of game-changing.
Yeah, I mean that's I'm just kind of bummed now. You guys just kind of ruined Titanfall 2 for me. Thanks a lot.
But I mean, they could go one of two ways there. You could have only. You can have only visual customization where it changes the look of, say, the paint color of your Titan or your pilot or the weapon. But then you could also go the other side of that where they go packs.
Yeah.
Because in FIFA, you get a pack and you get a 99 ranked player. Put them on your team. Go play online with them. Kind of. Good point. Good points, Tab.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. I guess we'll find out one of these days.
They should sell like skill-based matchmaking, like reducers or something like that, like cards or reducers.
That would be awesome.
Instead of reverse boosting, you just apply the card.
Yeah,
that would be the name of the card.
You drop your wild card and it like negates all the lag comp in the game.
Oh
for
man,
one match or something.
That would be awesome. Or you get host.
Yeah, host.
There we go. I tell you what, though, the game, I mean, it looks great. I thought the maps looked really good. The few that they showed, they look different, almost like they have different elevations just on the ground. And a lot of times those maps are kind of flattish, but they have different buildings that have elevations. But these maps look really good. I'm kind of afraid that I'm getting too old, though, to play a game like this because the movement looks so chaotic. I mean, they're ejecting out of Titans, grappling people, punching them. And I'm like, oh man, am I going to be able to get this meta or get this down? I don't know.
It's like you look at the professional players playing Black Ops 3 and you wonder how fluidly they move through the map. Then you go try and do that and you're just like slamming into the walls. And I mean, by the time you've chained the movement together, you've already been shot 5 times, so you don't have time to return. Like, I feel the same way. You know, you just watch somebody do it and it's so fluid for them.
Yeah. I mean,
like
there's definitely something that comes from just having a lot of time to play a game, which I just don't, so I can't match that skill level. And so it's kind of frustrating. But I don't know. We'll see. Drybone said he can't wait to grapple people. That does look freaking awesome.
It does.
Man, cool. All right.
Mike said he didn't see any games that really stuck out other than Battlefield, Gears, Titanfall 2, and Final Fantasy, and a few others.
So
that's a lot.
He just said like
Battlefield 1, right?
Jeez, Mike, come on.
Like 8 games.
Battlefield, Gears, Titanfall. That's more games than I play in a year, so.
Yeah. I've got like 3 games I played this year.
Yeah. I spend so much time on Call of Duty.
What's that?
Collapse, what'd you say?
Oh, I said I spent more time on Call of Duty than anything else, and now I'm burnt out on it, so now I have to find something else, you know? Oh, yes.
I tell you what, I got the HB40, and it kind of brought me back. I've been loving that gun.
Yeah, I imagine that gun would be pretty fun to shoot.
It is. Battlefield 1, what did you guys see anything at E3 that kind of sounded good about that game?
Just more good stuff. Nothing in particular, just like it built on the hype from the trailer. The stuff that I saw. It looked like it was just fun to play, beautiful, but also some comments I saw from developers were saying that it's going to play fast. Like trench warfare, World War II, or World War I does not sound like fast combat, but this is. It's supposed to be fast enough to where you can get a lot of these like melee kills with like a shovel and an axe and crap like that. So yeah, just more good stuff. What I saw.
Cool.
Yeah,
I know
it looks good. Honestly, like you build on everything that they built on. And I don't know do you guys watch Jack Frags at all?
No,
I have.
YouTube. Okay, so I watch him like a lot, and he's been doing like once a week. He's been researching like different battles of World War I or different war heroes for World War I, and attaching a story to the timeline. So teaching a history story while the gameplay is kind of playing. It's kind of neat to see that. So almost like you're bringing something that a lot of people, you know, for me, I've spent a lot of time learning history. I enjoy history a lot. And for a lot of people, they may not understand that. So to bring some of that into this era, I think that's kind of cool.
Yeah.
For sure.
As well as the game in itself. Because we're getting to see a lot of guns I didn't know about, the style of gameplay. I want to know why Activision and Call of Duty developers can't get with Frostbite. Be like, hey, can we like steal your engine or pay you for it, or can we get this? Like, dial down the destruction a little bit and get the Frostbite engine in Call of Duty.
That would be cool.
If you could take the Call of Duty movement, like how fluid your character feels on there, and put it on the Frostbite like visuals, I'd be super happy. That would be awesome.
I like the gunplay, or the way the gun hit detection and everything a little bit better in Call of Duty than I do Battlefield. Battlefield's a little bit rougher, a little bit harder, and I think it's made to be that way. You know, they're trying to be more realistic.
Yeah.
They have like 64 people in the lobby, so I was actually playing Battlefield 4 with combat. We played like 2 matches, which takes like 3 hours, but they were like, it did feel a lot different than COD, but it looks nice. It plays a lot slower, but even though there's like 32 people on each team, I don't think I ever saw like a full team, but we had maybe 30 on each team. But yeah, and then the environments are all destructible. So it's a lot more intense.
That stupid Zeppelin, like catching on fire and burning and falling out of the sky, was like amazing.
I know. I'm thinking it was like video and not actual gameplay, but it looks like amazing.
Yeah. Yep. I mean, I hope Battlefield 1 is super successful.
There's a beta, so we'll be able to try it out.
Yeah. I'm definitely gonna get the beta. I'm down for that. If it's good.
White Boy 7th Street said he's switching.
Really?
This year.
Wow.
It's been like the COD voice. I mean, way back when. I mean, he's kind of faded off over the past couple of years, but he's switching to Battlefield 1.
I'll volunteer to take over his channel. He can start over fresh with there. All right. Well, let's talk about Fallout New Vegas. Ocho, you saw something about that. Anybody playing Fallout in here? Let us know in the chat too.
Yeah, I think who was it? Yeah, so like Fallout New Vegas is coming toward backwards compatibility. So I think it might be actually available now. I don't think I had it on Xbox, but I did have it on PS3. So it's a really nice game. It was developed, I think, by was it Obsidian? Yeah, like that was. I played Fallout 3, and that might be my favorite game of all time. Maybe Fallout 4 now. There's a lot more you can do with it, but New Vegas was kind of a different take on things. Like I think you had to make your own ammo, and it's based out of in the Las Vegas area versus Fallout 3. I think was like the DC area, and Fallout 4 is the Boston area. But yeah, it's nice to see like that game coming to, as backwards compatible versus maybe a remastered, which the same company that did New Vegas also produced Skyrim, which is coming as a remastered. And I think it's free. Like remastered, like the COD 4 remaster. So you're gonna have, if you have Skyrim, I think it's like a free update, or you can buy I forget, it's like the Master Edition or something like that. So it's nice to see some of these older games that people are still playing. And I have a friend at work that was playing it on PC, so he's like, I've kind of been playing like a remastered version with all the mods, where you can redo the textures, and if you have like a fast enough video card, then you can really kind of pump it up versus like the standard version. But it's nice to see that they're actually doing it for free versus kind of having to pay for it.
Yeah, that's some goodwill. That's some good mojo being put out there. Cool. If you could see one game remastered, man, what would that game be? Think about that. Let me know when you think of it. Because I want to talk about NBA Finals, man. Somebody asked in the chat about the NBA Finals, and my Cavs, yeah, get out of here. Get out, take your butt and get out. But Cavs came back from a 3-1, only team in NBA history to come back from 3-1 in the finals, ended up winning it. Oh, it was awesome, man. I tell you what, the people were lined up. There was like 1 million people in Cleveland for the parade and everything like that. It's just so cool to see Cleveland finally get something, because we have always been horrible. I guess we've been close in baseball a couple times, but other than that, man, you know what we have to do with the Browns. The Browns are like towards the bottom every time. When LeBron was away, the Cavs were towards the bottom, and now got an NBA championship, first NBA championship, and I am just, oh man, I've watched the game 3 times now. I've cried every time. It's been great.
What?
Yep. I got it on tape.
Like
I'm watching
Jordan.
it with my son. And I used to watch all the Bulls games when Jordan played, because I'm from Chicago, and I'd always cry at those games too, man. It's just I like Jordan better than LeBron, hands down. But still, I got those same feelings back, and it was really cool. So, Claps, you want to say anything? You want to say congrats or anything like that?
No, absolutely not.
I remember we were doing the last podcast.
The NBA commissioners got what they wanted. They got their money, so that's it. I'm done with the NBA.
Oh no! Come on, sore loser.
No, absolutely not. I'll say this here. I'll go back to the series where Golden State was down against the Thunder. They made sure that came back. They made sure that they set up the storyline. I don't think they necessarily set it up in the last Game 7 for the win, but I think they just set it up where they get their money. I think it's good in order to go to 7 games. Yeah.
Gotcha.
This is my problem with it. You spend your entire career as a sports player showing consistency. It's all based on consistency. And then as a professional player at that level, for one series, you just don't show up. Your two shooters just don't show up. I just don't see that.
Man, can you imagine though, Curry? Because I mean, he looked bad in that finals game.
Yeah.
Can you imagine him though, purposely throwing that game?
I don't think him purposely. No. But then
I think refs are in on this, and
I think refs are. Yeah. Well, I think it's just this. I just think it's the era. It's all based on money. What kind of return can you get? And this is the big thing, you talked about Michael Jordan. The NBA realized how big of a platform they were on with Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan leaves the game and they don't have that figurehead. So now they need that. So in comes LeBron. So now, in order to keep that financing going, you're going to have to build that a little bit. I don't trust professional sports anymore. I really don't.
I tell you what, I don't disagree with you there because I've always wondered because it seems like I don't care if it's rigged because the Cavs won, but that's cool. If that's how we have to get a change. No, I'm just kidding. But I've thought about that before when watching it when I wasn't invested in it. I thought, oh, that's rigged.
Well,
I thought the Oklahoma Thunder series with. Or
you look
I was
back.
like, what?
What was it? The series, the Heat against the Spurs, when Greg Popovich is a great coach, and if somebody is playing bad, he doesn't hesitate to pull him, no matter who it is. And I watched Manu Ginobili just throw the ball away, just trip after trip down the court, and he doesn't pull him. And I don't understand what's going on with that. So what was that, like 3-4 years ago? 5, I don't know. That's when I started looking at it. It's just like, something doesn't seem right.
All right, well, you know what? I need to cut you off because you're ruining my vibe, man.
Hey, congratulations to Cleveland, to the city of Cleveland, yes.
There we
Champions.
go. Champions.
No.
Champions.
Yeah, you get an asterisk. Questionable.
Oh, man. That's why Cleveland's been so bad because they've been refusing to play the game because they are a team of integrity. They've been holding them down.
Now you sold out?
And now we finally sold out and we can be winners. Interesting. All right. Well, let's move on. Let's talk about leadership in Christianity. Tabby, you want to talk about this?
Yeah, I've been thinking about this a lot lately. If you're not a Christian, and as we move into these faith topics, I recommend that you hang out because sometimes this isn't always just applicable to the church or whatever. But I was thinking about how the Christian faith in the United States is very well represented. There's a crap load of people that identify as Christian, and a crap load of people that still go to church on Sunday, and will tell you that. And I've been thinking about how you look at other groups around the country, other socially organized groups, and there seems to be some pretty strong leadership in those groups. But when I look at the Christian church, I think I try to look for these kind of like leadership figureheads, and I don't really see them. Like I see some famous people in the Christian world, but I don't see any of them that are really actively engaged in leading a body or a group of people. And maybe they're leading their own particular church or their TV station or network or whatever, but I don't see them as like social figureheads that the church looks at. Like you look in the history of the church, and obviously you've got Paul and Peter, which were like figureheads back then. But you've also got you've got other names in history that pop up that we look back on now as being like great leaders of the faith. But now I try to look for that, and nothing comes to mind. And I wonder what that is, and I wonder is that a bad thing or is it a good thing?
Yeah, there's I think a potential thing for it to be bad if that leader falls, because there are a lot of people there are people like political candidates, and they'll find out that they're Christians and they hope they get caught in some marital infidelity just so they can point that out wrong. So, there's a danger having that one central figurehead, just because, power corrupts, man. If you get going and you get all that fame and publicity, I guess it wouldn't be a lot of fame and publicity for being a Christian, but I guess there's some temptation there. But it'd be kind of cool to have that as well, though. I don't know.
You guys want me to do it? Is that what you're saying?
No, you're too bossy, man. And you got to be a servant. You have to be a servant to be in that position. That's not you, Taboo.
I think there's a lot of people that have large congregations where they have their local congregation and also have an audience online or on TV. And I think those people, definitely have a lot of influence on a lot of people. You have, I don't know if Joel Osteen counts in that, but you have people like that are leading a whole movement, and of Christian thought or thoughts around biblical issues. And I think it's kind of hard to be in that position because like once people stand up, then there's always like a lot of people that are trying to knock them down. So
Yeah.
I don't know that a lot of people really want to be in that position.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like even if you, I think even the Bible says like if you feel like you're safe, then watch out because like even like you see like David in the Bible and a lot of people that were like in these high leadership positions were subject to these great faults as well. So
Yeah, I'm wondering if the different we've talked about this before, the different denominations, if that kind of hampers it, like on the I don't want to say the Protestant side, but you've got it in the Catholic Church.
Right.
You've got the Pope.
Mm-hmm.
There is no Protestant Pope. You know, is it because we're denominations and so you get mega church leaders or you get some big leaders, or you got like Louis Giglio that travels around, or with Chris Tomlin, and they're doing these conferences all over the U.S., but they're not very prominent. I don't know. I mean, if you're looking for them, you'll find them.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting because the Passion Group, they give a lot of money and put a lot of money towards, lately it's been sex trafficking, trying to like shut it down in the U.S. or make some kind of impact. But I'm thinking about like when you see the gay nightclub get shot up in Orlando, like maybe it's just the media is not like going after those spokespeople, and maybe they are out there, but I'm not seeing anything, and I stay kind of tuned in, you know, to the church on a national level, and I just don't see any of those people, you know, asserting themselves and saying anything.
Like I'm the go-to guy for issues on morality in America.
Yeah, and like I get the idea that maybe that's not a position anybody would want because the people I mentioned, Peter and Paul, like they died, they were killed for their faith and their leadership roles. So, I mean, it's a harder job, I think, than being a politician who, at worst case scenario, will get voted out of office in 4 years. Yeah, you know. So
I kind of wish we had that. That person that would speak for us, but it kind of scares me because I'm like, would they say something wrong on maybe they hit like 5 out of the 7 issues I'm agreeing with them, but on 2 I'm not agreeing with them, and then I don't know.
Could be it, and maybe that's that speaks to the denominational thing again. You know, like I think I was in the SRG Discord chat and we were talking about disagreements, and I was like, we should try to, my opinion is we should try to value disagreements and not run from them, you know, because they can make us stronger. You know, if they challenge our preconceived notions and we wind up being wrong, if we can recognize that, we're better people for it. But if we build up walls around ourselves because we're trying to avoid disagreements, you know, we just associate ourselves with people who think the way we do and have the same life experiences, and we can't grow. So I'm kind of like, I would take somebody
That's a good point.
I agree with 80% of the time over somebody that I agree with 100% of the time.
And I tell you what, probably be better than the media turning to politicians that kind of have that Christian label to talk to you about that. You know, somebody from more the church setting, in my opinion. I don't know.
Yeah, it's kind of weird because there's no office. You know, it's not like you elect a Protestant leader or anything like that, and you've got these separated organizations, Baptists and Methodists and Lutherans and everything. It's not like you just elect this guy. You know, it would have to be somebody who has good rapport with the Christian community and just a reputation that people can kind of believe in. But
who would you choose?
I don't know. Somebody said Francis Chan earlier.
Yeah,
and I think that guy is humble enough to do the job. I feel like he's the real deal, like true believer kind of guy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like some of these guys asking for help buying a private jet. Like I can't get behind that.
Yeah.
Like,
let's not even go there.
Like in the Bible, there's a guy like teleported, right? In the New Testament. You don't need a jet.
We take Spirit Airlines.
I haven't been paying attention to the chat, so if I missed something, if you guys see that, just let me know. But Ocho Claps, is there anybody that comes to mind like you'd like to see that? In the past, we talked about Billy Graham kind of was a big figurehead for the church. I don't know if he spoke to, like, I don't know if they would interview him, you know, like in the event of a shooting like what we've just had, you know. But he seemed like he was out there. Is there anybody today that you think could fill that role?
nobody personally that I'm aware of.
Mhm.
I guess for me, I've always been with churches like on a lower scale level, as far as just like what's local to me.
Uh-huh.
Never really been involved with anything above that. You hear the people like Franklin Graham or whatever, but nobody that comes to mind. I think I think that's a part of a failure maybe on our part personally, is that we get involved with too much compartmentalization between denominations or different like subsectors between even certain denominations. I grew up in a Baptist church, but it was a Free Will Baptist church.
Mm-hmm.
So that's separate than Independent or Southern Baptist. So I think we even get like even further divided between that, and that may be a stumbling block.
Yeah.
Maybe so.
For me, even.
Sorry, Ocho,
Like you come up with
did you?
Oh no, I think like, you come up with like Flaps was saying, like you come up with these names, and they're sometimes only like people in that community know them, even if it's like a really large community. So it sometimes I don't say the popularity or the influence doesn't transfer over between denominations, like maybe like a Billy Graham did. I know how he was with Catholics or
Right.
but.
Well, it almost seems like we've moved past that era. I know growing up, you'd hear stories being raised in a Christian school, of the mega conferences, Billy Sunday, Franklin or Billy Graham. You hear these things of these, and it seems like that day is gone. Like we don't experience that anymore.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Unless you take that conference and you go to a country that hasn't heard the Bible preached. Like here, we're too spoiled by it, so we don't look for it. We're not looking for that person, maybe. Just another thought.
Maybe not. I know that like the Pentecostals seem to have their hero in like people like Reinhard Bonnke. I don't know if you guys have ever heard of him before. He does a lot of mission work in Africa, and I think he's pretty big in like some of the Pentecostal or charismatic communities. And Billy Graham certainly transcended the whole. You could be he might have been Baptist maybe, but like you didn't care whether you sprinkle or dunk people to baptize them. Like Billy Graham was a good guy that you could get behind. You know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
So I don't know. I don't know if we've passed that era or not. I think we've definitely seen other groups rally behind leaders. Do you guys think there's a place in the church for it? I'm like, am I even wrong just wondering if there should be somebody like that?
Well, I think if we don't speak to the issues or society, we're going to be, I don't know, missing out on that influence.
Yeah, because I mean, like I know, like you look at the early church models, and maybe they seem to be very localized. You had Ephesus and other cities that had their representatives, like they were the church of that city almost, right? But we're like a lot more connected now than they were back there 2,000 years ago.
We are.
So.
Yeah, we don't have
A lot more
I get the
interconnected, but
local-
even on the same level that Paul was the leader of them.
Mhm.
He was, as he went and planted the churches, he was still communicating with each one, still writing them letters, still, advising them. Whereas for us, we're interconnected, but that intercommunication may not work as much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
Something
we feel
else.
like, you see those pictures of people sitting at a table eating with a family, but they're all on the cell phone.
Yeah.
Like we're more interconnected than we ever have been with technology, but we're also more disconnected from each other because of technology.
Exactly.
I don't, it's good, but it's bad.
It's kind
It's
of
almost
interesting.
like killing
'cause
ourselves.
It makes me think of this context right now. I'm here talking to three guys that are in different parts of the country, and like I have more in common with you guys, and I interact more with you guys than I do a lot of people in my own town or even in my own church. And I don't. You might say some people might say that's a bad thing, and maybe it is, but I wouldn't be able to do this with anybody at my church because our interests just align better than my interests and some of the people in my church do. You know what I mean? So when it comes to gaming and politics and all that kind of stuff and the internet culture, it's like this is more effective for me. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
It's
What
also
about
a
like
process of different
James
ideas.
Dobson? He used to be pretty
Focus on the Family Guy.
Focus on the family,
The Family Guy.
forward.
Focus on the family guy.
and honestly they had a mission, with the family and everything like that. So I don't know if it's they would be speaking to everything, but somebody that just came to mind because I saw him tweeting there saying something about Trump
Yeah,
accepting Christ or something like that.
That was
Yeah,
here
sure
recently. And I guess he called him a baby Christian,
He
which,
did.
yeah, I was like, oh, that probably didn't go over well, but I don't
Okay, frankly.
know.
Have you guys seen like the Life Church? I think it used to be lifechurch.tv. I think it's now
Yeah.
life.church, I think.
Mhm.
But that I really like what they're doing. I know a lot of the like they do like a local service, and then they support a lot of streaming for other churches.
Mhm.
So like you can be part of their Life Church community. So if like say you have a group that doesn't necessarily have a trained pastor, that you could have your like small group or whatever that uses their video as your church service. So maybe if you're somewhere that doesn't have a local church that's available
Yeah.
that you can go to, you can use their videos kind of as that church, and they have support for it. They have kids programs that they give away for free. I think it's Greg Groeschel.
Mhm.
Oh, yeah.
Um,
I can't.
yeah.
That's interesting. At one time, I thought about what if we could get the sacred community and actually become a church, like and wondered if that whole thing would work. I mean, it'd take a lot of work and everything like that, but that was kind of in my back of my mind at one time.
It's interesting. I don't
Yeah.
know. I keep coming back to this thought that we just got too many tribes, and like we're trying to. Everybody's trying to set up their own kingdom. You know what I mean? I
Yeah.
keep coming back to that in my mind. I don't know if there's truth to it, but that's what it feels like. Is like we're actually naming a whole bunch of people in a whole bunch of groups right now, and I'm like, there's just too many.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know how you'd get back away from that though, because we're so divided. I don't see I don't know, unless somebody does something pretty miraculous or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Especially now with all the outlets of like media where you can have followers on Twitter, YouTube, TV. It's easy to have like millions of well, not easy, but it's more available to have millions of followers to whatever you're doing. Like it could be for good or for bad. Actually, I was just looking at I was just kind of seeing how many people are in the top 100 on Twitter. I didn't really see any pastors that I recognize. Like it's mostly entertainers, but like the top 100 Twitter or top 100 people that have the top 100 Twitter followers or followed on Twitter rather. But I didn't really see anybody that I recognize as a pastor or church leader.
What's it mostly like entertainers?
Yeah, like Katy Perry was number one.
Yeah.
Wow. Well,
That's also that kind of shows different focus. Like we can expect that sports players, entertainers, things like that are going to be very high on that list. But then you look at it and pastors or spiritual leaders, and nowhere to be found. Kind of, it also identifies sort of what our society is focused on.
Yeah.
If you think about it.
Well, I looked at a list of most trusted occupations, and pastors were pretty low on that list, which was surprising.
Do you think that has something to do with the Catholic Church going through their whole scandal?
It does, but it's Protestant too. Like I remember, I can't remember names, but I remember in the '90s, it was like pastor after pastor was like caught up in scandal. Whether it was embezzling money or affairs or whatever, and it just like huge credibility hit to some pretty big names. I just can't remember them right now. Jay, you might remember them. You're a little older than I am.
Yeah, I do. But well, yeah.
Like the Bakers.
Bakers, yeah. Remember he went to prison, didn't he?
Was Falwell one of them? Is that one?
Yeah.
I don't know if he just said I don't know if he got ever in trouble but I remember there's ones caught in adultery.
I know it's kind of like tempting to like kind of be like standoffish when it comes to like thinking about rallying around a new like Christian face. You know what I mean? Like because of those kind of traumatic events. In the Christian leadership, maybe more people feel that way too. That it's like, hey, that guy seems like a cool guy, but maybe I won't put all my eggs in that basket.
Yeah.
Well, I was really looking forward to seeing the last election we had, Huckabee in the race. And you hear his story, and then you see Dr. Carson in the race, and I was really hoping they do well because that's more publicity of their faith and showing who they are. You know, and then you look at Dr. Carson, everything they tried to dig up to dirty his name, like all they could find was that his foreign policy was weak. You know, it speaks wonders for that. So it's nice to see those people. You just wish they could remain there a little bit longer, so that people could see that, see a witness. You know, maybe we need somebody like that.
I always wonder if that's the process that scares people off. Because I mean, like when people are digging into your past, like you may have, I think even was it Cruz that like they were bringing up this video he did in college where he was saying he wanted to be the ruler of the world or whatever. And what was it? I think he was in the church in Houston with the Ed Young Senior, it's like Second Baptist Church, but I think it's just difficult to like put yourself up there, especially if you have like stuff that you know about in your background, and then it's like hope nobody sees it when like this is the age of people like researching and digging up stuff. So like the TMZ and drama alert age.
Yeah, it might be.
Yeah. So somebody asked in the chat where the gaming community is headed, and how we as Christian gamers can help that. You guys have any thoughts on that? And I think we have an awesome platform to connect to a lot of people that don't know Christ, don't want anything to do with Christ. And I know when I first started gaming, people were like, "You're a Christian and you're playing video games? What the heck? I don't get that. I didn't think you guys played video games." Or when you're playing like Call of Duty, I didn't think you played Call of Duty. So it kind of shocked people. And we've had a lot of great opportunities to talk to people. I know, just with Sakred Gaming and Solid Rock Gaming and or Solid Rock Gamers and 3 Day Respawn, there's a lot of people that we've been able to reach out to. And I think just the fellowship aspect of it, we've been able to change some stereotypes. But what do you think about where gaming is heading? I mean, I don't know if you can say that. I think where is our world heading? Might be a better question, or what can we do?
I think it's an entire new platform.
Yeah.
We realize that technology, so you have churches that will put their sermons online. You can view live streams of it. You can view messages. You can go on YouTube and find it. But if we, for what Sakred's tried to do through gaming, what Solid Rock Gamers has tried to do, what 3 Day Respawn's tried to do, is just to reach people, or even to bring Christian people together. In that you can reach out to other people. The people that I've met across the United States just through these 3 organizations is amazing.
Yeah.
Taboo is. If one person touches another person, then how does that web spread in order to the, I don't know, there's how you can reach others.
Oh man, look how unprofessional this is right now.
Did I miss something? Sorry.
No, not at all.
There's a big thunderstorm here. My daughter came down. She was scared about what's going on. I hope we do a good job representing Christ to people. Sometimes I'm playing and I get caught up in a game and I'll get raging. I'm like, oh man, my witness is horrible.
Like that time you dropped the F-bomb in Black Ops 3?
I did drop the F-bomb, but I didn't mean to drop the F-bomb. I was trying to say fricking Chuck Norris, which I probably shouldn't say fricking, but yeah, it came out bad. So, that was an innocent slip.
I think in another aspect, I just keep thinking about it, but another aspect, it's also good to show people that the church is not so stiff.
Yeah.
Like, from my experience growing up in the Baptist church that I grew up in, it was a very stiff environment, more rules to what you couldn't do than what you could do, instead of allowing a person to translate that for themselves.
Yeah.
So, for those people that are new to it, it's nice for them to see this reflection.
Yeah. Is there still the stigma that gaming is evil in the church?
I think in some places, or that it's only a child's thing. For my parents, maybe my in-laws, that's the way I'm looked at, maybe.
Actually, I donated one of my old my old PlayStation 3 I donated to a church, so I think it wasn't an issue for them. But I tried to make sure I deleted off like all the I don't know, like Call of Duty in case they had if it was offensive to them or whatever. But I think they're mostly playing like Madden and sports games. But
Yeah, we've got an Xbox in our church.
Yeah, I think
Xbox.
like it's pretty common in the youth groups, to have something like that. I don't think there's that much of a stigma, but I have heard some people say that it's a waste of time. Like you should just grow up or whatever. But they're like people that go hunting.
Yeah.
And like so they'll get up before dark and go out and sit in the woods.
Yeah.
They won't be around their family. Like when fall gets here and the rut starts, like they don't have a family. And I'm like, I could play a game right here in the same room with my wife, and we're not giving each other attention, but we're like in the same room. You know what I mean?
Yeah. There's been a couple of famous pastors that have spoke out about gaming or said kind of similar things, and yet I know they're big into sports and they're watching sports games and, wasting their time or living, they're like, you're just living in a fantasy world, and you're kind of living through some sports figures too. So
Right.
and
I,
we're
don't know, I
actually
wanted
playing.
to do a video.
Or like
But-
try explain watching somebody else play a video game, like on Twitch or a YouTube commentary or whatever, and they're like, they'll look at you like you're crazy. And like you just
Yeah.
watched a basketball game on TV.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's the same thing.
Yeah.
Well, and people have problems with you playing video games, but they'll watch a movie.
Yeah.
It's kind of like the same thing, but we actually get to be in the movie. I don't know. That's my 2 cents.
Yeah.
You're gonna get him heated up and want to calm
Yeah.
down.
My headache's gone away, so I can get into. Did I hear about Boogie2988 getting hacked? Maybe no, I have no idea.
I like
Boogie
Hackard
29
better.
is Boogie2988 that who is that?
Big guy.
Francis.
Francis? Okay.
Yeah.
No, he got hacked. Oh man, I've
like
only watched
Garrett.
like 2 videos with Francis, so I don't really know much about him. But man, that stinks that he got hacked.
Yep.
Dang.
He's
Senpei, I noticed you. Nightfall today. No, I'm not doing a Nightfall today. We're doing this podcast right now, and then I'll be doing something else.
Yeah,
So-
you heard it here. It's now
Yeah.
copyrighted material.
Oh, Michael's asking about Project Scorpio.
Oh, that looks awesome.
Talk about that. So you have the Xbox
Good.
One S, and then
Yep.
Project Scorpio that's coming out. Is it next year holiday?
Yeah, 2017.
Mm-hmm. Supposed to larger
yeah, what do you-
computing power.
What's it gonna
Yeah.
cost?
So yeah, what are your thoughts? What do you think? I don't think you can go over 600.
600. I mean,
500, 600.
for brand new,
Yeah.
is it supposed to have a 1 terabyte in it?
I wouldn't even announce the hardware. I think it's just the
Yeah.
idea of at least
Just the idea.
have 4K gaming. Like the S, was it
Six
the S will have
teraflops.
yeah.
400, 450.
Whoa, there's no way.
You don't think
You think-
so?
400, 450? No way.
Well, I mean, because you got a 500 gig normal Xbox right now, right? No Connect, running for $279 as the new lowered price,
yeah,
and then you're going to throw a better GPU in it, probably a better CPU.
Octa-core CPU, 5
Then-
times the
Yeah.
Xbox One of graphics power.
yeah.
People are
Clee
saying-
said
Probably
around
1
1,000.
terabyte.
Yeah,
No
Clee
way.
says 1,000. I've seen a
800.
lot of people say 1,000, and I say
Really?
you can't sell an Xbox for $1,000.
No, you might as well get
That
a
might
PC.
be what it needs to cost, but if they'd sell it for anything less than, if they sell it for anything more than $599, it's gonna flop.
I don't think the purchase will be there.
599? Did you say?
Yeah,
I guess-
$599. It can't be more than $599.
Yeah,
$599.
it'll probably cost 800 to 1,000, maybe 800. They'll sell it for 6.
I mean, I understand the GPU is going to be equivalent to a GTX 1070, but I mean, that's not. You're buying a 10. If you buy a 1080 card, right? You're paying what, $700 for it,
and that's
somewhere-
NVIDIA.
right? So an NVIDIA, $700. So a 1070 step below it, right? I think they were quoting roughly around the $400 range for that card, $300, $400 range.
Mhm.
Like if you look at that, but it's going to be a it's not the actual card. You know, it's equivalent to. So you're making like a Microsoft card that fits in a box.
Uh-huh.
You know, so it's soldered to a motherboard. You know, it's
Mm-hmm.
not something that's gonna be removable. It can't be replaced. You know, but so I don't see that high of a cost factoring into making a console.
I think they're going to have the S for your typical gamer. That, jeez, oh, peace. I don't know
Wow,
if
I
you
could
hear
hear
that.
that.
I heard
All right.
that one. Yeah.
I think they're going to have the S for the typical gamer who, will spend, what's it going for?
I
How
see
much is
what
this?
$300 probably because $279 for the current 500 gig, right?
I was thinking it was 450 if you got the bigger
Slim?
hard drive. Maybe 354 and 450 or something like that for the S. Or no.
I think you could for 400 or 450 right now. You can buy the Elite,
Oh.
which comes with the Elite controller, 1 terabyte.
Yeah, I think it's going to be like the Elite, though. I mean, there are going to be people out there that will spend $600, $700 on a console if it's the greatest thing out there console wise.
That's like when
Yeah,
the Xbox first came out. That's
I'm
or
perfectly
Xbox
on
One.
board. I'm sorry, Richard. Keep going.
Oh no, I was saying like that was what the Xbox One or the PlayStation 3 when I got it was like $600 when it first came out.
Yeah.
Wow.
And that was with Blu-ray and all that.
Oh. Xbox One was 500, right?
And that was with the Kinect.
Yeah, 500.
Yeah, that was Thunder Dry Bones and Senpai. I said it. Is that your channel name? I don't know if that's how you pronounce it. Do you guys care about 4K? Because I could care less about 4K.
I mean, yeah, sure. Like, nice to have. I don't
If
have,
it's-
I don't have anything that'll play 4K right now, but like,
Yeah, if it's going to
I
become
told somebody-
standard on what you buy for $200 in a monitor,
I might have
but
said
when
this
you're
to
having to
Freak.
pay the up price,
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Why?
Well, I was telling. I think it was Freak. I was telling that this Black Friday I need to buy a 4K monitor. So when the new Xbox comes out next year, I'll be ready for it because I won't be able to do both at the same time. But I think 4K is fine if you got something to play it on. But like I don't really care that much. 1080, like I've got 24-inch monitors and I sit about 2 feet away from it and it's
Uh-huh.
good. You know what I mean? Frame rate's more important to me right now than 4K.
Yeah.
And I'm completely on board with the idea that it's going to cost Microsoft $700 probably. You know what I mean? But they can't sell it for $7,000. They can't sell it for $1,000. You got to think about the holiday season. Like these are parents buying consoles for their kids, and like I know that these millennials are spoiled and everything. But dang, that like. Are their parents going to drop $1,000? Are they going to drop $750 on a console plus buy
No
some
way.
games and stuff?
And the monitor or the
When
screen.
historically it's always been like 500, in that range.
Yeah.
It's going to be a stretch. I think Microsoft has to take the hit up front. It's going to be a big hit though.
It will. But man, how did it compare to Sony's? Are they giving comparisons or what did they say?
I haven't even seen anything on the Neo platform.
Yeah, they don't
Anybody
think
know?
they announced anything.
Polygon had a chart that they published on one of their early rumor videos that was comparing the teraflops to
Yeah.
one another, and they had the Xbox One, they had the PS4, then they had the Neo, and then they had the Scorpio, and Scorpio was like at 6, and Neo was like at 4 something maybe. So it looked like the early information was that 4,000 teraflops for Neo. Yeah, so that's what 20% more, 30%.
That's 50%.
Who's the engineer? You're an engineer, right?
50% more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
So, like, that's big if that's true.
Yeah. And I'm sorry if you guys are. I saw somebody asking a question, Squid maybe or something in the chat, and I totally missed it. So if we've missed anything in the chat, put it in there now, and we'll try and get back to it. But so Claps thinks it's going to be 400,
I say 450.
450.
Yeah.
Ocho, what's your guess?
I'd say 600.
600. That's what I'm thinking. Taboo.
I'll go with $1.
I was going to say whoever's the lowest has to take
Yeah,
a
you can't
egg
go
to the
over.
face.
$5.99 is my number though. I think if they go past that, it's just dead in the water, and I don't think they can afford to go lower than that either. So
I wonder how much they took of a hit with the Xbox One when that came out. Because I mean, it was higher price, $500, but I know it cost them more.
I don't think they took a hit on it.
Did they? Oh, that was the first one that wasn't. So...
And the 360 was, I think, they
maybe that's what
sold it under cost.
I think You Are Paranoid was talking about how they should have taken a hit this time around, but they didn't.
Okay.
And they broke even on it.
Yeah, I could totally be right. Interesting. Mm-hmm. All right. What are we missing in the chats? Anybody see anything? $1.
Imagine
2,000 Ranger
Imagineer said he just ripped off some bandages off his leg.
Have you ever had anything waxed, you guys? Oh, come on, admit it if you have. No? All right. No. I had my back waxed. Oh my Lord, that was painful. And my wife, she got this wax that was just the wax, like normal, or sometimes it's wax and then you put this paper on it, and then you rip the paper, because you can grab the paper on it. But this was wax, just the wax. So you had to start right where it was actually attached to the hair. And so she's trying to peel it up, and it's slowly pulling hairs out, and I'm dying. And then she finally gets a chunk and can rip it. And then I'm like dying. Oh, that was the worst experience ever. I should have videotaped it. Maybe next time I do my back, I will videotape it. I'm gonna test that one, Taboo. All right. Squid Powered. What can I do if I see something bad on YouTube? Oh, what are we talking about? Like, I mean, don't watch it. I mean, is it bad that you need to report it? Because there are ways to report things on there. If it's just something bad that you shouldn't be watching, though, that's not reportable. I just got to stay away from that, man.
Somebody said just press the home button on YouTube. That's good advice. If you accidentally see something that you don't want to be seeing, just get out. Get out.
Oh, yeah. Creamy wax. Creamy, let's do like a waxing video. Did Creamy ever do a waxing video?
Creamy started waxing his face, but he...
Oh, his beard.
Yeah.
Dude.
Hurt.
He quit.
That was... Yeah, you're a quitter, but holy smokes, that was the greatest thing ever. Holy smokes. Squid, if you want to elaborate on that, and we're not answering that, let us know here. But not trying to be racist. Do we mean anything? He's gonna wax his head. Cool. All right. Well, hey, if you guys got any questions in here, make sure you shoot them now because we're coming to the end of this podcast. So make sure you put them in there. You guys got anything else you want to talk about?
I think somebody wanted to talk about the shooting.
Oh yeah. No, we didn't. I didn't know if we had enough time to get to that like that.
Shootings are bad.
Yeah, shootings are bad. You see the stabbing?
That's the official church
stabbing. Where 7 people got stabbed in California, I think.
Was that at that neo-Nazi or a Hezbollah rally or something like that?
Some weird. I love how they called it a right-wing extremist group. Refer to that as the bad guys. I don't know if they are or not. I don't know anything about those groups that were mentioned.
Yeah. Well, that's for another podcast, I guess.
All right. Gotcha.
That's like YouTube drama.
I don't even know what's going on in terms of YouTube dramas. Somebody said that Keemstar is not doing Drama Alert anymore. I don't care. I guess it's interesting to people who follow Keemstar, but
I'm gonna take over, man.
You'll take over.
It's going to be 100% about Creamy. I want to do a video.
Alert.
Yeah.
Keep your initials and everything.
I'm going to do a video on Creamy, just on Creamy, because he's like the most entertaining YouTuber ever when he was uploading, just with all the crazy stuff he would do.
I did kind of follow the Drama Alert stuff.
Yeah.
So I guess Keemstar made some people mad, and they when you do stuff like that, I guess there's a biblical concept of you live by the sword and you die by the sword. Mm-hmm. It's like if you're digging up dirt on a bunch of people, they're probably going to do the same for you eventually. And so I guess a bunch of large YouTubers that I guess were kind of friends, or like friends or people you associate with on YouTube that just got upset with him and then started putting out all this kind of the old trolling videos he did with saying the N word and harassing people, and even showed this video. I think it was him and I want to say Only Use Me Blade, and they're pulling this prank on this kid and like shoved ice cream in his face and ice cream in the kid's face. Like,
Oh wow.
Like, I don't know what the whole context of that was, but like the kid starts crying and stuff. And it looks horrible, like all the stuff that they put in there. But I think when you do stuff that's offensive to other people, you have, and it's what glass houses, you shouldn't throw stones.
You reap what you sow.
Yeah.
Live by the sword, die by the sword. Did you ever see that one?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Well, if you're going to
always
place
get what you
yourself in
want.
the public eye, you can expect yourself to be investigated in some aspect.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, if that's the kind of culture you're promoting with the people that follow you, then like you're just multiplying it, right?
Mm-hmm.
So somebody, so is he leaving Drama Alert? Do you know if that's going on or what?
I think someone else has been doing the show, and then he started talking about doing a new show. So I don't know what's all going on with that. But I'm surprised his YouTube's been shut down like several times, but now he's back with like 1 million followers or subscribers. I'm like, that's crazy.
Oh.
That's interesting. He was on a podcast, the Triggered podcast, that I liked for a little while. It was kind of short-lived, but when Skag was on it, and he and Skag got into it one day over something anyway, some episode, and Skag left, and then it was like, then I stopped watching it, but it was just, I'm not going to say he's like a toxic personality, but it's definitely one that doesn't really jive with what I'm into, you know what I mean?
Yeah. I started watching when we started doing like updates on like COD esports, but then it kind of turned to the drama, and it's like, I don't really care about all this other stuff, but and then he stopped doing a lot of the COD stuff. So.
Huh.
I got you. Yeah, the Michael Jackson thing, man. Did y'all see that this week?
No.
He from 2003 when like the cops raided his Neverland Ranch. Like I guess this information just came out for some reason. I don't know why it took so long, but they described all of this really graphic, like child pornography and S&M and animal stuff that he had there on Neverland Ranch, and it was part of that case that they tried to prosecute him with, molestation charges or whatever. So some real, he put hashtag Michael Jackson as a creep. Definitely seems to have been the case.
Wow. That was kind of a thought, I always wondered that myself, what the heck is going on there. But I guess, pedophilia and child molestation seems like in Hollywood and just with a lot of these famous people, it just seems to run rampant. I know the Lord of the Rings star, Frodo, he posted something about that, and then he quickly, took it back and everything. But, it just seems like Woody Allen and a lot of these Hollywood types and stars are able to get away with some crazy stuff. I don't know. All right. Well, Squid Power playing on the Xbox One. I think we're all on the Xbox One here, besides PC too as well. But hey, we just wanted to thank everybody for stopping out to the podcast and interacting with us. You guys are the reason that we're here. Well, actually, Jesus Christ is the reason that we're here, but we want to share Jesus Christ with you guys and represent him. So without you guys being here, we'd have nobody to share that with. So did I cover myself on that one? Okay.
I think so.
I saved myself there. Yeah. But hey, just wanted to thank Ocho, Claps being on the show, Taboo, for doing all the behind the scene things and getting us running with the sound. And sorry about the beginning of that. We should be good to go for next time.
Yep.
But it's always a pleasure talking to you guys. I love it. And isn't it cool how we can, from all over the U.S., gaming has brought us together. Christ has brought us together, and we can talk to each other and share that and talk to everybody else. I don't know. That's cool. Just pretty awesome. Yeah. But hey, just wanted to thank everybody. That's where we're going to end this show. But man, as always, take care and God bless.